Up.
Again, I'm reminding you to be respectful. Behave. Huwag salita ng salita kung hindi tinatawag or else ikikik namin kayo dito sa platform. May I ask you to edit your name? Pakilagyan ng year-end section. So this is a combination of 12 ABMA and 12 UMSB. We only have 18 participants pa lang. Nasaan na yung iba? Paki-message naman sa GC nyo na mag-join na sila. So we can start. It's already 10:29. Three participants. Again, sa mga kapapasok lang, edit your name. Pakilagyan ng year-end section. And mag-mute lang kayo. Tsaka lang kayo mag-unmute kapag tinawag ko kayong magsalita or mag-recite. Lahat ng mic naka-mute. "26 participants."
Oh my God.
27. 10:35 we will start. So we have still 29 participants from 2 sections. Okay, good morning, learners from 12 ABMA and 12 UMSB. So this is our second online class for media and information literacy. For this morning, we'll tackle Module 3 and Module 4 for Quarter 1, Week 2. Let's start. Let's start with Module 3, the similarities and differences between and among media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy. So at the end of this online class or after finishing your module 3, you're expected to, letter A, explain the meaning of media literacy, information, and technology literacy. Second, letter B, you need to identify the similarities and differences among the three, media, information, and technology literacy. And the third one is you need to describe the value of being a media and information literate individual. Okay, so let's start with the lesson. Let's define first what is literacy. So literacy is an ability of a person to define, recognize, perceive, construct, interact, and compute with various structures using printed and written materials. So kapag sinabi nating literate individual ka, in layman's term, kapag sinabing literate ka, ibig sabihin nakakabasa ka, nakakaintindi, nakaka-recognize ng mga bagay na nakikita mo, naintindihan mo yon, nade-digest sa utak mo, at after recognizing those materials or kung ano man yung nakikita mo or nababasa mo, pwede mo siyang i-share or pwede kang maki-interact with other individuals. So that is literacy. Sometimes, noong mga unang panahon or kahit naman ngayon, yung mga marites, kapag may nakikipag-away sila, sinasabi nila, illiterate ka. When we say illiterate, ibig sabihin not literate. So, kapag sinabi nilang ganon, ang sinasabihan nilang tao ay hindi marunong magbasa, hindi marunong magsulat, at hindi marunong umintindi. Tama ba? Ganon ang sinasabi nila, literate. When we say literate, kabalikan siya. Marunong ka magbasa, magsulat, at umintindi ng binibasa at sinasabi. So that is literacy. Please mute yung mic. Vanessa Soriano, mute your mic. Thank you. Okay. So first, we need to define media. Ano nga ba ang media? Kapag naririnig natin to, ang pumapasok sa isip natin ay GMA, ABS-CBN, di ba? Ganun ang Bombo Radio. Yan ang media na first na pumapasok sa isip natin kapag naririnig or nababasa natin yung word na to. Pero the definition of media is the physical objects used to communicate with or the mass communication through physical objects such as radio, television, computers, film, etc. At ngayon, meron na tayong tinatawag na social media. So these are objects, or from our previous topic, sinabi natin na ang media is the platform or the channel kung saan pwedeng mag-communicate ang mga individuals. It also refers to any physical object used to communicate messages. So that is media. Next term that we need to define is information. So this is a broad term that covers processed data, knowledge derived from study, experience, instruction, signals, or symbols. So information are processed data. When we say process, nahimay na siya, na-simplify, at of course, matatawag lang natin siyang information kapag may sense yung data na yon. So hindi natin siya pwedeng tawaging information kung hindi naman siya mahalaga. So there are data na hindi mahalaga. Pero pwede pa rin natin siyang tawaging information. Next, we need to differentiate the three. What is media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy? According to your module, Module 3, media literacy focuses on understanding, using, and producing messages from different media. So kapag may ability ka na umintindi, gumamit, at mag-produce ng message, gamit yung iba't ibang media like radio, television, newspaper, and of course, ang pinaka-ginagamit natin ngayon na social media, pwede kang matawag na media literate or meron kang media literacy. While information literacy is your ability to effectively and sensibly find, evaluate, and utilize information. So kapag marunong ka nang maghanap, i-evaluate yung mga nahanap mong information at magamit ito, pwede ka nang sabihan na isang information literate individual. We will talk about this more sa Module 4, yung information literacy. And then, we have technology literacy. It focuses on the responsible and effective use of tools or networks to access, evaluate, and generate the message. So kapag marunong ka nang gumamit ng mga tools like the internet, of course, marunong kayong gumamit ng TV. For sure yan. Radyo, magbasa ng newspaper. Pero ang technology literacy focuses more on new technology, of course, like the social media. Marunong ka na bang gumamit ng social media, ng laptop, ng iyong smartphone para makakuha ng information? So kapag ang pinag-uusapan ay yung mga gadgets, yung mga device, that is under technology literacy. So pwede kang tawaging technology literate individual kapag marunong ka nang gumamit or sanay gumamit ng mga tools na to. So media information literacy. So kung natatandaan nyo tong kantang to, yung Pen, Pineapple, Pen. So media information literacy. Media and information literacy is the combination of the three literacy. So if you will put them together, kagaya nung sa kanta na to, yung tatlong literacy, you will end up with media and information literacy. So this is a composite concept, combination of the three. Okay. So this is a more simpler definition of the three literacy. We have media, information, and technology, or sometimes called digital literacy. Media literacy is the ability to read, analyze, evaluate, and produce communication in a variety of media forms. Para mas maintindihan natin ang media literacy, I have here a video about media literacy. So panoorin natin. And then later on, magtatawag ako ng magre-recite, of course. So bawal matulog or tumunganga dyan. Panoorin mabuti, pakinggan, intindihin yung video natin. And after the video, magtatawag ako ng isa sa inyo para humingi ng opinion or reaction from this video.
Media literacy is not...
Naririnig ba? Naririnig yung video? May audio diyan?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Malinaw naman.
Opo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's resume to our video.
Media literacy is not only the ability to understand information being presented to us, but also determining the best way to respond to it. When we say media, we are speaking about the way people communicate around the world, whether it is through print, radio and television, the internet, or new forms of media. For the past century, mass media has been produced by corporations or state entities that control the content and messages communicated to the public. These organizations edit news, advertising, and other information before the public sees the final product. New digital technologies, such as social media, allow for a new, freer flow of information. No longer do we rely solely on one source of information, but our information comes from a wide variety of sources. In addition, each and every person has the ability to contribute to the public exchange of knowledge. Of course, the information that we receive may still be biased, so it is important that we understand how messages are created and consumed in all forms of media. This understanding is the definition of media literacy. So, how do we make sense of the diversity of information being presented to us at a faster pace than ever before? We can do so by gathering, analyzing, and reflecting on that information so that we can better understand how and why a specific message is being delivered. We can start by asking questions, such as, who created this message? How is it constructed? What is being left out? What is their goal? Do I agree with what is being said? Is this message targeted to a local, national, or global audience? Who is it intended for? We can also look for information with diverse perspectives in order to produce thoughtful responses. By doing so, individuals are empowered to form their own opinions and are less likely to be swayed by the information they consume on a daily basis. As individuals learn to evaluate information and media resources for themselves, passive citizens and consumers are transformed into engaged and active participants of the knowledge economy.
So that is a video on media literacy. Okay, let's call someone and hear his or her reaction on the video, kung ano yung pagkakaintindi niya sa video. Tingnan natin yung mga participants. We have, let's start with 12 UMS B. 12 UMS B, we have, sinong nandito? Hannah. I want Hannah. Hannah Flores, the class mayor.
Hello, sir. Good morning po.
Morning, Hannah. What can you say about the video? And can you define media literacy in your own?
Sir, the
Own
video,
words?
yung video po, pinapakita niya po yung parang importance ng media literacy and paano po siya, paano yung process ng isang media literacy. Sir, ang media literacy po is sinasabi niya doon na yung isang tao kaya niyang intindihin or magbigay ng opinion niya, hindi lang dahil sa mga base nakikita niya sa environment or nakukuha niya sa media. Nagde-depend din po siya sa sarili niyang knowledge at pag-intindi po sa kung ano po yung nangyayari po.
Okay, thank you so much, Hannah, for your very wonderful answer. So Hannah is right. Media literacy is your ability not only to read or see information. So kapag nagbe-browse ka ng Facebook mo, so kapag nakakita ka doon ng isang message or isang post, that's your ability to read. So hindi lang dapat ganon ang meron sa media literacy. Kailangan mo rin i-analyze, evaluate. Maganda ba yung message? Tama ba yung message? Fake news ba siya or hindi? Saan kaya nanggaling? Reliable ba yung gumawa ng message na to? Para kanino yung mga message na to? Paano siya ginawa? So, ginawa ba siya para makasira or makatulong sa iba? So, when you're doing that, meron ka ng media literacy. And of course, and other platforms like social media, hindi lang sa Facebook, pati sa YouTube kapag nanonood kayo, di ba? So, titingnan mo muna kung maganda naman yung video na papanoorin mo, evaluate mo muna siya. Kung sinong gumawa, reliable ba yung nag-upload ng video na yon? Maganda ba yung effect ng video na yon kapag pinanood mo siya? So that is media literacy. Let's now proceed to information literacy. This is the ability to recognize when information is needed and to locate, evaluate, effectively use, and communicate information in its various formats. So we have, again, a video for this information literacy para mas madali niyong maintindihan.
There was a time when books used to be the primary source of information. But today, we find ourselves bombarded with an overwhelming amount of it, from a multitude of sources. Information is as abundant as the world is vast. It comes in a variety of forms and can be accessed in different ways. When it comes to the information we have available to us, the sky really is the limit. This can result in many challenges when it comes to accessing and using information. First, it can be very easy to waste time trying to find the information we need, especially if we don't know where to look. It can also be difficult to compare the reliability of one source with that of another, especially if we don't understand the context of the information or know how to research the credibility of authors. That's why we need to possess skills that will allow us to determine the what, when, and how for using information effectively. What we need is information literacy. So what exactly is information literacy? Information literacy is a set of skills that helps people navigate through information overload, something we experience virtually every day. There are 6 main concepts that encompass information literacy. They may sound confusing at first, but bear with me. Number 1, authority is constructed and contextual. Number 2, information creation as a process. Number 3, information has value. Number 4, research as inquiry. Number 5, scholarship as conversation. And number 6, searching as strategic exploration. Okay, so I know that probably didn't make a lot of sense to you. So what does all of this mean in plain English? Let's break it down. So back to the first concept of information literacy. Authority is constructed and contextual. This means that it's important to learn how to identify the reliability of an information source, which often depends on the context of the information. It also means respecting intellectual property. Give credit to the source when you share bits of information, a photo, video, or anything else you didn't create yourself, and be sure it's okay to use before sharing. The second concept of information literacy is information creation as a process. Understand that information undergoes a process of research, creation, revision, and often peer review before it is distributed. This results in information that exists in various forms and methods of delivery. Understanding this will help you select a source that fits your information need. The third concept is information has value. Not only can information be sold, but it also serves as a means of education. Information can influence people, and it can help individuals understand and navigate the world. The creation and sharing of information can also be influenced by current events in the economy. Just take a look at how information is created and shared during an election. The fourth concept of information literacy highlights research as inquiry. Research is an inquisitive process that often consists of trial and error when attempting to find reliable and relevant sources of information. It is essential to learn how to examine information to determine if it fits your need. Asking questions is an important part of this process. Another important skill related to this concept is the ability to organize and synthesize information. For example, how well can you incorporate sources of information into a research paper? Concept number 5 is scholarship as conversation. Scholarship, or academic study, is really a conversation that exists among people within a certain field. When a new book or journal article is published, it contributes new insight to an ongoing conversation regarding a certain topic. Because of this, it is important to recognize that scholars will offer different perspectives and ideas. It is also important to give credit when quoting from other scholars' work. The sixth and final concept of information literacy, searching as strategic exploration. Effective research involves developing a strategy and refining it as you go. Research doesn't happen in a straight line. Sometimes you'll need to make course corrections along the way. This final concept involves knowing how to identify and use the best research tools, including how to form the best keywords for your search. So how do the skills surrounding these concepts apply in the real world, beyond the classroom? Here are a few examples. Once you develop these skills, you will know how to find reliable and relevant information online. You will also be better equipped to safeguard your personal and financial information. You will understand that information shared on social media is often biased or even false. so some research may be involved before trusting a source. You will also know how to be informed when making big life decisions, like buying your first home. You will be able to recognize that intellectual property comes in many forms, such as a photo, video, or song. And to share these items requires the permission of the owner, as well as citation of your source. And finally, you will be better able to have informed conversations with others and respect different viewpoints.
Okay, so that is information literacy. Can I call someone para magbigay ng reaction niya and define information literacy based dun sa napanood nating video? Anyone wants to answer? Baka may gustong mag-raise dyan. So punta naman tayo sa 12 ABMA. Mukhang kokonti sila ngayon 12 ABMA. Can I have Allen? Allen Kasuga from Bangkagan.
Yes, sir. Good
What can you
morning.
say about or any reaction about the video, and can you define
Hi.
information literacy based on the video?
Sir, information literacy for me is kung paano mo naiintindihan yung impormasyon na yun.
Naintindihan yung information. What else?
Yun lang, sir. Tas sa video, sa bawat impormasyon na binibigay,
Yes. Okay, thank you, Allen, for your answer. That's some additional answer. That's Miss Krishna Jane Garcia from 12 ABMA pa rin. What can you say about the video, and can you define information literacy in your own words? Yes,
Hello
Krishna?
po. Sa video po
Good
ay
morning.
dito sinasabi kung paano na-create, deliver ng informations. And sa pag-gather naman po ng mga ng informations, may skills ka na need ma-possess and develop para mas maintindihan ng iba't ibang informations na mag-gather mo po. And sa skills na mga yun po is mas maiintindihan ng maayos ang information na mag-gather ng isang tao.
Okay, thank you for that answer, Krishna Jane Garcia. So when we talk about information literacy, this is your ability to find or locate information. Paano ba kayo maghanap ng information sa social media, sa internet? So, nagamit nyo ito noon nung nasa PR1 at PR2 kayo, nagre-research kayo nang ilalagay nyo sa output nyo. Say for example, sa chapter 2 sa review of related literature, paano kayo naghanap ng RRL ng study nyo? So, nag-search kayo sa Google. In-input nyo yung terms na kailangang i-search. Or let's say, study nyo, yung title ng study nyo. So, naghanap kayo doon, sa browser, lumabas yung mga results. Anong ginawa nyo? Of course, in-evaluate nyo, pinili nyo kung ano yung mga information na related dun sa study nyo. Tinignan nyo kung reliable ba yung information na yon at makakatulong ba yon sa research nyo na ginagawa, yung information na nakita nyo. And after that, nung nakapili na kayo, naka-evaluate na kayo ng information para sa RRL nyo, ginamit nyo siya, linagay nyo siya doon sa output nyo. So, when you're doing that, you are now an information literate individual. So, ganun ang information literacy. Dapat marunong kang maghanap, tumingin, and then evaluate mo tama ba or maganda ba yung information. Titignan mo kung pwede mo siyang magamit or hindi. At of course, kailangan mo ring i-identify kung sino yung pinanggalingan, gumawa ng information na yun, kung reliable ba. So most of the time, kailangan yung mga information na nakukuha nyo are from institutions or educational groups. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin yan sa Module 4. So that is information literacy. Let's have a review. Media literacy, your ability na gumamit ng channels or mga platforms para makicommunicate. That is media literacy. Information literacy is your ability na maghanap ng information, na evaluate, analyze, titignan mabuti yung information na yan. Kung tama ba or hindi, makakatulong ba, at paggamit ng information na nahanap. That is information literacy. And now, let's proceed to technology, or sometimes called digital literacy. So, the ability to use digital technology, communication tools or networks to locate, evaluate, use, and create information. So, ito naman yung ability ng isang individual na gumamit ng mga sinasabi nating tools. Ano ba yung mga tools na pwede nating magamit para maki-communicate? Of course, nag-start tayo sa telephone noong unang panahon. And ang cellular phone, pero text-text lang noon. Hanggang nagkaroon na tayo ng smartphones ngayon, mobile phones. At sa present time, napakarami ng high-end na technology na pwede nating magamit, yung mga latest brands or units ng different cell phones. What else? Yung laptop. That is under technology, literacy pa rin yan. Tablets. What else? Ano pang mga nagagamit natin ngayon na technology? So if you, kapag marunong ka na, you know how to use, alam mo na kung paano siya gamitin para makicommunicate or makakuha ka ng information, or now technology or digital literate individual. So para mas maintindihan natin, of course, meron pa rin tayong video para dyan. So makinig para kapag tinawag ko mamaya, alam yung isasagot.
So, you've heard that at uni, you need to have skills in something called digital literacy. And you thought, what? If that's you, don't worry. The library can help you understand. So you're already searching and navigating every day through all types of information. You make choices based on what you find out, and you're also sharing it socially using a variety of tools. Let's pretend you want to book a trip overseas. A holiday. What do you need to know? Well, you might research things like accommodation, weather, food and culture, coffee, the best of course, and you'll make travel plans based on what you find out. You might even create an itinerary online and share it with your family. Now, you just need to make sure you know how to use these digital literacy skills in a similar way to be successful at uni. And we all want that. Digital literacy is one of 8 Deakin graduate learning outcomes, a core set of skills you'll get as a Deakin student. Digital literacy is all about using technologies confidently as you live, learn, and work in a challenging digital world. But it's more than that. Being a digitally literate student means having capabilities in 5 connected areas. You need to be able to search, navigate, and locate information in digital environments. After finding your information, it's time to evaluate, analyse, and apply your critical thinking skills to check, is this relevant to my research needs? A digitally literate student would then organise, manage, and curate the information they've found. This just means sorting and storing it in a way that makes it easier to use. Another important digital literacy skill is being able to create, construct, and generate digital artifacts and your digital identity. Things like developing an online presentation, making a video about your research area, or writing and editing an assignment. Part of being a student in the digital world also requires the ability to communicate, connect, and collaborate with others, to share information or to be involved in group projects. You need to do all of this using a variety of technologies, and not just technology of today, but with new things too, so that you are always adapting and changing. Being flexible and capable in digital literacy is a great thing. It's key to your success both at uni and in your future career, and Deakin can help you get there.
Okay, so that is digital literacy. So can I call someone para magbigay ng reaction sa video at mag-define ng technology or digital literacy? Any volunteer from 12 ABMA or 12 UMSB? O tig-isa na lang tayo. For 12 ABMA, unahin natin. Sinong nandito? Let's have Catherine. Catherine Dumasig. Can you say something about the video?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, sir. Sir, about sa video, ang pagkakaintindi ko po is kailangan may skills ka para matuto kang makipagkomunikasyon lalo na sa society. Tapos, pwede mo rin magamit yung mga tools like internet, social media, devices, ganun, sir.
Okay, thank you, Catherine, for your answer. Tama yung answer ni Catherine. Let's have another answer from 12 UMSB naman. Any volunteer from 12 UMSB? Let's have Glyza. Yes, Mr. Galedo, raising your hand. Mr. Galedo. And then later on, Glyza, papakinggan natin. Unahin natin si Mr. Galedo.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Ay, may audible.
Yes, narinig ka namin. So say something about the video on technology literacy and define technology literacy in your own words.
Yes, sir. Yung tungkol po sa digital literacy or information literacy, tama po yung nasa video na hindi lang po natin dapat kinukuha yung information ng basta-basta. Kailangan natin evaluate o i-fact check yung information. Dahil bakit po ba tayo kumukuha ng information? Para i-share sa iba. Para to gain knowledge. Pero kung wala kang skills nung mga nasa banggit sa video, yung message na gusto mong ipahiwatig sa iba is pwedeng maiba o hindi maging inaccurate. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Mr. Galedo. So maganda rin yung sagot ni Mr. Galedo. Let's hear from Miss Glyza Gardo. Good morning, Glyza.
Good morning
Glyza,
po.
are you there?
Good morning po.
Good morning, Glyza. Taga-san si Glyza?
Po.
Taga-san ka? Anong barangay?
Imelda po.
Ha?
Imelda po.
Imelda. Okay. So say something about the video on technology literacy.
Sir, ka-join ko lang po kasi.
Kadyo-join lang. Okay, sige. Okay lang yan. Let's again from 12 ABMA, Kapapasok lang, Miss Francine Samantha Sabado. Napanood mo ba yung video? Francine? Francine, are you there? Wala, ayaw sumagot ni Francine. Baka
Sir,
naligaw
apply.
lang. Napanood mo yung video, Miss Sabado?
Hindi sir, kaka-join ko lang.
Okay. How about Chona? Chona Garcia from San Antonio. Say something about the video. Chona. May nagre-raise ng hand. Michi, can we hear your answer? Michi from Bangkagan. Michi. Good morning.
Sir, tungkol po sa video is ang technology literacy is tumutukoy ito sa kakayahan ng isang individual na gumamit at gumawa ng malinaw na impormasyon sa pamamagitan ng pagsulat at paggamit ng ibang media at digital platforms, sir.
Okay, thank you, Miss Michi Bansifra from Bangkagan, Nagilian, for your answer. So, marami na tayong narinig na answer from different learners natin. The simplest explanation for technology literacy is the ability of the individual na hindi lang gumamit. Of course, may cellphone ka, may laptop ka, alam mo siyang gamitin. Pero hindi ganon. Sa cellphone, marami tayong apps para makicommunicate. Marami tayong apps para maghanap ng information. So, alam ba natin kung paano gamitin yung mga apps na yan? Say for example, yung different apps from the Google company, yung Google Drive. So, pwede kang mag-save ng information sa Google Drive. Yung ginagamit natin sa summative test natin, yung Google Form. Marunong ka bang gumawa ng Google Form? Marunong ka bang mag-access or sumagot sa surveys or sa mga quizzes, summative tests? Alam mo bang i-navigate? What else? Sa Google, yung Gmail. Marunong ka bang mag-compose ng email at isi-send mo sa iyong relatives or kaibigan ng magsasend ka ng information or message? So dapat alam mo rin kung paano gamitin yung mga yon. So under pa rin siya ng technology literacy. Hindi lang porket alam mong hawak mo yung cellphone mo, alam mo siyang gamitin pang Facebook, at else pang YouTube or pang TikTok. Hindi enough yon para magkaroon ka ng technology literacy. Pati sa laptop. May laptop ka nga pero alam mo bang gamitin yan? Laptop mo para gumawa ng PowerPoint presentation, ng isang message using Microsoft Word, or gumawa ng email para makicommunicate ka. So that is technology literacy. Your ability to use the technology para makicommunicate at mag-share ng information. Di ba gumagawa rin naman kayo ng mga information or dun sa PE nyo, tama ba? Nag-upload kayo ng mga presentations nyo, ng mga performance tasks nyo. So, marunong ka bang mag-upload or gumawa ng video tapos i-upload nyo siya sa page nyo? So, kapag nagagawa mo yon, ibig sabihin, technology literate individual ka na. So, those are the three terms na na-define natin. We have media literacy, information literacy, and technology or digital literacy. So if you will combine the three terms, mabubuo na ngayon ang tinatawag natin or mismo ang subject natin na media and information literacy. This refers to the essential competencies. When we say competencies, These are different abilities. At pag sinabi natin competencies, dapat yung taong na yon competent. Competence is knowledge, skills, and attitude that allow citizens or individuals to engage with media and other information providers effectively and develop critical thinking and lifelong learning skills for socializing and becoming active citizens. Dun sa technology or digital literacy na video kanina, merong term doon na digital world. So, kayong generation na to, kayo yung kasali. Tayo. Pero nung early times namin, hindi pa kasi ganun ka-digital world yung tawag doon. Hindi pa kami ganun ka-inclined sa technology. Hindi pa ganun kataas yung technology noon. Pero kayo, ngayon, yung batch nyo, yung generation nyo, kayo yung mga batch kung saan namulat kayo sa digital world. High school pa lang, marunong na kayong mag-Facebook dati, di ba? Na-expose na kayo sa digital world na tinatawag natin. So dapat, yung generation nyo ang magkaroon ng ganitong literacy, yung media and information literacy na to. Kasi kailangan equip kayo ng literacy na to pagkatapos nyong mag-aral. Totoo yung sinabi sa video. Dapat pagkatapos mong mag-high school or college, meron ka na nitong literacy na to. Kasi in the real world, kapag nagtrabaho kayo, magagamit nyo itong literacy na to. Media, information, and of course, technology literacy. Kapag pumasok ka na ng trabaho, hindi na ngayon traditional. Techie na ngayon, lahat. Gagamit ka ng computer, kailangan mong naka-connect sa internet lagi. Lalong-lalo na nung pandemic, napaka-essential, nagamit ng internet, ng social media para sa pagtatrabaho kasi nauso ang work from home. So yung mga nagtatrabaho sa offices dati, nasa bahay na lang sila, anong ginagamit nila? Of course, their technologies, their devices, the internet. So kailangan media and information literate sila kapag gumagamit sila ng. At kung babalik na yung normal, hindi na siya matatapos ng pandemic. Once nag-graduate kayo, kailangan nyo itong literacy na to kasi kailangan nyo to, kumbaga, skill ito. Kung wala ka nito, hindi ka magiging effective sa trabaho mo. Hindi ka ma-hire. Pag nag-apply ka, mag-apply ka sa isang office work or managerial work na hindi ka marunong gumamit ng technology, ng media. Hindi ka marunong maghanap ng information at mag-evaluate ng information. So paano ka kukunin ng mag-hire sa'yo? Diba? So this is one of the skills na kailangang meron kayo. Pinakamahalaga para sa akin. Kung nahuhuli pa kayo ngayon, hindi kayo marunong gumamit ng mga technology na to, ng media na to, ng social media, nako, na pag-iiwanan ka na. Kasi sa generation nyo, kumbaga, matik na dapat na meron ka nito. Marunong ka. So kung alam nyo sa sarili nyo na hindi pa rin kayo equipped ng skill na to, hindi pa late, may college pa, turuan nyo yung sarili nyo. Kasi pag nakagraduate kayo, sinasabi ko sa inyo, in the real world, kapag nagtatrabaho na kayo, magagamit at magagamit nyo. Ano bang gusto nyo maging trabaho? Siyempre, yung nasa office ka lang, di ba? Nakaupo. Paperworks. Ayaw mo naman ng trabaho na gumagalaw ka. Naglilinis ka. What else? Nagbubuhat ka. Gusto mo ba ng ganong trabaho? Kaya kayo nag-aaral para magkaroon ng magandang trabaho, magaan na trabaho, yung hindi gagamit ng physical na katawan nyo. Yun yung pinaka-goal nyo, kaya kayo nag-aaral. So kailangan meron kayo nitong MIL na to. So manood tayo ng last video on media and information literacy bago tayo mag-wrap up. Ano, wala na. 11:23, time check.
And information literacy, critical thinking and creativity, literacy, intercultural, citizenship, knowledge, sustainability equals MilClicks. We click millions of times each day. We click to search, read, watch, listen, interact, play, and create. But are we doing it wisely? Behind each of the clicks, there is information or content someone created. Do we know where to find information and what sources to believe? Do we know how to critically engage with information, media, and technology to get involved into peace building, dialogue, promote tolerance, diversity, equality, freedom of expression, and for better internet experiences? MilClicks is a new movement about media and information literacy. It is started as a shared effort of UNESCO, partners, and all of you. Use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to play, relax, and learn. Involve your minds and hearts by sharing posts, tips, solving quizzes, creating content, and learning new skills. But we will also challenge you to practice your media and information literacy skills, to click wisely, creatively, and critically. This is part of what media and information literacy is about. Are you up for it? Join the movement. Look up, share, and create relevant content using MilClicks hashtag and become a MilClicker. Coming soon, accumulate MilClicks digital.
So that is a video clip from UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Ano yung pinaka-message nung video clip natin? So you need to connect wisely, creatively, and critically. Hindi lang basta-bastang nakikiconnect kayo or nakikicommunicate kayo sa ibang individuals. So, kailangan nyo ng media and information literacy skills na to. Nawala na. Okay, let's wrap up for Module 3. So according to your module, not information are reliable and true. So media and information literacy will help you or help every individual become a responsible producer of information and an innovator of media and information. So hindi lang kayo kailangang maging media and information literate, but you need to be an agent of change in the different media and information landscape. So that is for Module 3. Let's now proceed to Module 4. We still have time. So this is the activity pala na binigay ko for week 2, module 3. You need to create a Venn diagram of the 3 literacy, the media, information, and technology literacy. So when we say Venn diagram, there are parts there na nag-overlap sila. Ibig sabihin, ano yung, kung saan yung nag-overlap, ano yung pagkakapareho ng dalawang literacy? Like here, ano yung pagkakapareho ng information at technology literacy? Dito, ng media and technology. Sa kabila naman, information and media. And then sa mga parts na yan, kailangan nyo maglagay dyan ng mga terms, definitions ng tatlong literacy. At sa pinakagitna naman, ano yung pagkakapareho ng tatlong literacy na yan. Yun yung nag-overlap yung tatlong circles natin.
Nabadda, ajak sa akin din, tapos nag-dup.
Is mag-mute, Zaldi. Thank you. Let's now proceed. We still have before 12. Let's proceed to module 12. Module 4, which tackles on information literacy. So bilisan na lang natin ng konti. At the end of this online class or after finishing answering your module, you need to be able to define the elements of information. Second, recognize pertinent guide questions leading to information literacy. And last one is your activity. You need to create a log of the stages and elements of information literacy in a given scenario. Ito yung performance test number 2 nyo. First, let's define data or let's say information. These are data that has been collected, processed, interpreted in order to be presented in a usable form. Sabi nga ni Mr. Ganedo kanina, kaya tayo naghahanap, nagko-collect ng data kasi i-share din natin sa iba. Or kaya tayo naghahanap ng information rather ay para i-share sa iba. So ang information na yon ay kailangan i-collect natin, i-process, evaluate, interpret bago natin i-present or gamitin or ibigay sa iba. So bakit ba natin kailangan ng information? Of course, kailangan natin maging updated sa mga balita. Information para matuto tayo. Like yung ginagawa natin ngayon, nag-aaral kayo, nakikinig sa akin. So nakakakuha kayo ng information para sa inyong education, sa inyong learnings. Kailangan natin ng communication, ng information para maka-communicate. Kung wala kang information, ano yung pwede mong maibigay dun sa kausap mo? Wala. Di ba? Alangan na siya lang yung bigay ng information, ikaw nakikinig ka lang. Of course, kailangan mo ng information din para ma-share din sa kanya. And information to acquire knowledge needed for decision making. So hindi ka makakapag-decide sa buhay mo sa kahit anong sitwasyon kung wala kang information na nakuha. Tama ba yon? Where do you search for information? Of course, in this present time, the internet ang pinagkukuhanan natin ng information. Hindi na nga tayo masyadong nanonood ng TV. Of course, ito hindi na tayo masyadong dumadalaw sa library kahit siguro nasa junior high kayo. Minsan na lang makinig ng radio, more internet na kasi nandun na lahat. And newspapers, bibihira na lang. Yung mga matatanda na lang nagbabasa ng newspaper. But all of these are sources. Dito ka pwedeng makakuha ng information. How do you acquire and store information? So pwede mo siyang isulat, kopyahin. Pwede mong i-print yung nakuha mo sa internet. Photocopy yung nakita mo sa library books, photograph, pwede mong picturean yung information. Ito yung ginagamit natin, nagda-download tayo ng information from the internet. Pwede rin nating i-record yung mga video. Information. Determine the quality and accuracy of the information that you have. Kagaya nung example ko kanina, nung naghanap kayo ng RRL sa internet for your PR2, o meron pa rin kayong subject na III ngayon, kailangan nyo pa rin ng information literacy. It should come from a reputable source such as an institution. So, hindi lang dapat yung nakita nyo na information sa sinearch nyo sa Google, yun na yun. Tingnan nyo kung saan siya galing. Kung mas magandang institution like educational institution like Harvard, Oxford, Nawala tayo. Naririnig niyo pa ako?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Meron?
Opo, naririnig po.
Yes, sir.
Medyo nawala eh. Nawala ako. Okay na?
Opo.
Rinig na po.
Okay. Let's continue. So sabi ko nga kanina, kailangan nasa reputable, reliable, credible information na nakukuha nyo kailangan galing rin sa credible sources. So kapag nanonood kayo ng TV sa let's say GMA, ABS, nakakuha kayo ng information, pwede kaya nating masabing credible or reputable source yon? Most of the time, yes, pero may instances na hindi na rin. Kapag nakakakita tayo ng mga nai-share sa Facebook, so yung iba doon, hindi na rin masyadong reliable. Wala na. Okay, let's continue. So paano nyo nga ba ginagamit ang information na nakukuha nyo? Of course, you share, you apply it, announce, post nyo sa Facebook. And then, of course, kailangan nyo ng information to clarify your confusion. Kung may katanungan kayo, sinesearch nyo sa Google or other searching devices. So that's how you use your information. So how will you communicate information? Pwedeng i-announce sa JC, may mga announcement, text, messenger, face-to-face session, post nyo sa social media accounts nyo. That's how you communicate or share information. So when we talk about information literacy, this is a set of individual competencies needed to identify, evaluate, and use information in the most ethical. Yan. Ito yung magandang word, ethical, efficient, and effective way across all domains, occupations, and professions. So kapag marunong ka nang mag-identify, magtingin, evaluate mo yung information, at gagamitin mo yung information in the most ethical. When we say ethical, dapat nasa mabuting paraan. Efficient. So kailangan nakakatulong siya. And of course, you need to share the information in an effective way. So kapag meron kang ginagawa mo na to, isa itong individual competency, ang tawag dito is information literacy. Okay? The ability to recognize when information is needed and to locate, evaluate, effectively use, and communicate information in its various formats. There are stages or elements of information literacy. Pero ito na lang yung i-share ko sa inyo. The information literate person can, yan, nag-appear na. Identify information, find information, evaluate information, apply, and acknowledge. So, para mas maintindihan pa yan, let's watch this video, our last video for this online class.
Most of us are familiar with the term literacy, and some of you may have heard of information literacy, but are not exactly sure what information literacy is. It turns out information literacy is a distinct set of skills that gives us the ability to locate, evaluate, and use effectively the needed information. Information literacy can be divided into 5 separate components. Let's take a look at how each of these components applies to success in college or university and in real life. The first component is about identifying the nature and extent of the information you need. Academic examples include writing a thesis statement, creating a timeline and plan to complete a research paper, and differentiating between primary sources of information.
Ulitin natin yung pag-share.
Most of us are familiar with the term literacy, and some of you may have heard of information literacy, but are not exactly sure what information literacy is. It turns out information literacy is a distinct set of skills that gives us the ability to locate, evaluate, and use effectively the needed information. Information literacy can be divided into 5 separate components. Let's take a look at how each of these components applies to success in college or university and in real life. The first component is about identifying the nature and extent of the information you need. Academic examples include writing a thesis statement, creating a timeline and plan to complete a research paper, and differentiating between primary sources of information like findings from research and secondary sources of information like a book about the results. In the real world, the identify component shows itself as devising a search strategy to find information on buying a new home, identifying the difference between a published court decision and an article about that decision, and deciding to search for the most current information about a medical issue so you're well informed. The second component means you can find the needed information effectively and efficiently. In academia, this means you can use Boolean terms and, or, and not when searching online, locate a book on the library shelves by its call number, and choose the best keywords and phrases when searching online or in library databases. Outside of school, you are able to search the public archives for information on local history, request genealogical records through interlibrary loan, and access a government website to find local crime statistics. The ability to evaluate the information you find and its sources critically is the next component. Academic examples include reviewing multiple points of view to construct your own opinion, exploring different sources of information like books, databases, periodicals, and the internet to understand a topic, and the ability to analyze the structure and logic of arguments made in lectures and speeches. In the real world, you can research the In an educational environment, you can paraphrase an expert to support a position in a persuasive speech. Away from the educational environment, you are able to develop a market survey based on gaps you identify by reviewing studies, reference experts
Okay. So medyo nagahang na tayo. Tapusin na lang natin tong information literate person. Kailangan you can identify the information na kailangan mo. Marunong kang maghanap ng information. Marunong kang mag-evaluate kung reliable ba, credible ba yung information. And of course, kapag may information ka na, alam mo siyang i-apply ethically. I mean, say ethically, nasa mabuting pag-share, pag-apply ng information. And of course, you need to acknowledge your source. Hindi pwedeng nakakuha ka lang ng information, kinapi-paste mo from the internet, yun na yung isasubmit mo. Kailangan mo pa rin i-acknowledge kung saan mo kinuha, sino yung author or gumawa ng information na yan. So kapag meron ka na tong 5 to, you are now an information literate individual. Can you still hear me? Yung mga natitira pang 2020. Diyan ba kayo?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for staying with me. 30, naging 20 na lang. Saan na napunta yung iba? And of course, ito yung performance task number 2 nyo, yung disaster scenario. While browsing Facebook, you have seen a shared post from a friend about the recorded volcanic earthquakes in Taal Volcano by PVOX. In order to check the quality and accuracy of the shared post, answer the matrix below using the space provided. So you just need to answer yung mga questions. Ito yung 5 stages, diba, na diniscuss ko sa inyo. Information needs, ano yung information na kailangan mo, saan mo kukunin, saan ka makaka-access, paano mo siya evaluate or i-check kung reliable yung information, paano mo i-organize, and the last one, paano mo i-communicate or i-share yung information na nakuha mo. So that is your performance task number 2. I hope tapos nyo na yan by this time kasi sa Thursday, you need to pass your answer sheets. So thank you for listening. Huwag munang mag-leave. Kailangan nating mag-screenshot. Paki-open mo na yung mga camera natin. Kukunti na lang from 12 Yums B. And mag-screenshot tayo. Kukunti na lang naman kasi 20 na lang. 20 participants. Open na tayo ng camera kung nandyan pa kayo. Sige na. Open cam. At mag-screenshot lang ako. There's Jinky, Diana, yung other. Naka-open cam na lahat.
Maki!
Okay, mukhang tapos na yung time natin sa Zoom. So thank you everyone sa pag-join dito sa online class natin. See you again next time. You can now leave the platform. Have a happy lunch. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Paki-end din pag-record, please, Ariana.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye, sir. Happy lunch.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.